When I got to college, I took it a lot more seriously. Like, I sold like everything I had to buy like an amp, like a nice amp and a nice guitar, and looked on fucking Craigslist for like bands to start. You need to be a surgeon. You need to be a brain surgeon so we can brag to all our friends that you can fix their brain.
It's literally just about bragging, I swear.
My son can fix your brain if you're dying. And that's my son. So 2011, 2012, I had friends that were starting to become like DJs and getting really big. And I kind of just followed them because it was just like cool. Like the stuff with like the drops, like trap drops or like twerk. Jay, it's like he's always, out of all people, even before I made any money or, you know, had any sort of buzz on me at all, he's like the first person to like fuck with me and really be like, yo, like, I'll help you, you know?
Hi, this is Lauren Engel. Today I'm here with YULTRON.
So
Actually, I think when I first met you, it was at the Snoop Dogg. I just put two and two together.
Snoop Dogg, like the music video shoot?
Yeah.
Cool.
I was doing the pictures there and I didn't even know it came out. I watched the video and I was like, wow, green screen is crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was so cool.
So we met at a Snoop Dogg video shoot. So I did a song with Snoop Dogg and this group in Japan called PKCs.
Yeah.
Shout out Verbal and LDH and shout out Uncle Snoop. But we shot this music video at Snoop's compound and she happened to be there.
So your parents are Chinese, but were they born here? Did they move here?
My parents were born, my dad was born in Hong Kong and my mom was born in Taiwan, so I'm half and half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made them move here?
Well, my dad was super poor. Like, him and my grandparents worked in a factory in Hong Kong for literally like cents.
Yeah.
And then my uncle, who was actually my grandpa's brother, was born here just because his dad they came out here at an early age and like they like worked on the railroads and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like crazy. And then my uncle, my great uncle, which is like my grandpa's like brother, like had a restaurant business and was super wealthy. Not wealthy, but made a lot more money than they did in Hong Kong. And then flew my grandparents out here and my dad and everyone.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And your mom's side?
My mom's side, my dad went back to Asia and met my mom. And then my dad took my mom out here.
Oh.
Yeah, and then when my parents had a little more money, they flew my mom's parents back out here. Yeah.
But what did your parents do?
My parents are both accountants. So they both crunch numbers.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at numbers.
Where do you get your creative side from?
I don't know, actually. My dad used to like teach me how to draw, but he never played music, neither did my mom, so I don't know. I just kind of just had a strong fascination towards music since I was a kid, so just kind of went that direction.
But you started off more classical, right?
Yeah, I played piano since I was like really little. I don't remember how old, but I played piano and then I played violin in orchestra. I was like that little nerdy kid. Like that nerd kid that like played, violin.
Do you like it though?
Yeah, I haven't played in so long, but yeah, I liked it back then. Like, I liked playing in orchestra. I just had to wake up super early at like 7 a.m. or be at school by 7 a.m. and have like orchestra practice.
And then you got more into like indie music.
Yeah, I started like being in
a
bands
phase.
and stuff like that. Like, I started my first band in high school in like junior year. And then I remember like, it was cool. I wasn't like super trying to focus and like pursue a musical career. I started my first band in like junior year. And I didn't really pursue it super seriously until, I don't know, maybe like college sometime. I went to UC Riverside.
Oh, what instrument were you playing?
I was playing guitar, so I picked that up on my own. I remember I was playing violin and my neighbor got a guitar and I was like, fuck, I want to learn how to play guitar. That shit's so cool. And then my mom didn't want to buy me a guitar, so I just learned on my friend's guitar.
Yeah.
And he taught me some stuff and then kind of just picked it up on my own. And eventually my mom bought me my own guitar.
Oh.
And then, I started my band in like high school, just for fun. It wasn't like we were any good or anything like that. But when I got to college, I took it a lot more seriously. Like I sold like everything I had to buy like an amp, like a nice amp and a nice guitar, and looked on fucking Craigslist for like bands to start, or like people who were looking for like guitarists and stuff. And then then we took it like, you know, then I took it more seriously, and then found these group of guys that wanted to start a band with me. But then like we ended up being in a band together for like a year, right? And I thought everything was going super good, and I guess they didn't like me too much, or in terms of like they didn't like me controlling the project or whatever, and like they started another band on their own without telling me, and like it's like hurt me hella bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like I put everything into this fucking band.
Yeah.
And then eventually I was like, man, fuck this shit. And then like I just started my own band.
How do you describe yourself back then growing up?
How did I describe myself, or how do I describe myself back then?
Yeah.
I would say very confused and insecure. Yeah, confused and insecure. Yeah, just like wanting to be in bands and wanted to be like, I don't know. I think that's just human nature, right? I think we all go through phases, and we all are kind of confused at who we really are, and we kind of just try different things until we figure ourselves out, right? Yeah.
Did you like school?
I didn't like school. It was like a love and hate relationship. So I didn't like wasting my time learning stuff that I didn't want to learn. But then I also loved learning when I was super interested in it. So like college, for instance, there's like certain classes you have to take, which is bullshit because I'm never going to use those courses ever. And then certain courses I really like and enjoy and learned so much from them, and I feel like has prepared me for life.
What did you like?
I don't know. I thought like I was like a writing major, so a lot of my writing courses were pretty dope. And also like I double majored. I did political science as well, so it took me a little extra long to finish college because none of the classes were like the same classes I could take to fill out both like majors, you know, requirement wise. So I had to take extra long to take more courses. But I don't know, I like political science because it kind of gave me, it helped me open my mind into expressing myself more, I guess, and having an opinion. Because most people don't have opinions, and it's bullshit.
Did your parents push you academically?
Yeah. So they were one of those like typical Asian parents that really wanted me to score high on an SAT.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to like get straight A's, which I didn't, but I did well. I went to UC Riverside. It's not like the best school, but I wasn't going to like a city college or anything, you know? Which to like Asian parents is like the worst thing you can do. What, a fucking city college? Like,
Oh my god.
I'm gonna disown you as a fucking son, type of shit, you know? So I did okay, I guess.
At least they let you study like political science and writing, I mean.
Yeah.
Not like accounting.
So you need to be a surgeon. You need to be a brain surgeon so we can brag to all our friends that you can fix their brain.
It's literally just about bragging, I swear.
My son can fix your brain if you're dying. And that's my son. So, just saying.
And you can cure them with your music.
Yeah,
now, so
exactly.
Whatever. When did you start getting into rap?
I've always liked rap. So I've always liked like Lil Wayne. Little Wayne. Lil Wayne, like Hot Boys, like Cash Money, like the real like OG Cash Money stuff.
Like same time you were into the indie music?
No, I've always liked rock music. Like so I've never categorized myself as like, oh, I'm an indie head, or I'm a pop punk kid, or I'm a rapper, or whatever. I've always listened to different types of music, you know? And I've never liked to put myself in a box where it's like, oh man, fuck that rock shit. Like, because I had a lot of friends who were like gangsters, like Asian gangsters growing up, and they only listened to rap. So when I listen to rock shit, they're like, oh man, Yulton, you're on that white boy shit, blah, blah, blah. My real name is Yulton. By the way.
I was like, wait, did I?
No. It's just YULTON.
Yeah.
But like, Yulton, you're on that white boy rock shit, that's so gay, blah, blah, blah. And excuse me if I say gay, because, you know, when you're kids, you just call people gay.
Yeah. Why do you put the R?
What do you mean? Oh, as YULTRON?
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of friends called me that. Because at the time I listened to a lot of this guy named Del. Del the Funky Homo Sapien. And he had an album called Deltron that I listened to a lot. And then, yeah, my friends were like, oh, yeah, YULTRON,
Yeah.
it's you. It just kind of always stuck. It's been like that for like 10 years.
But what clicked you to start rapping yourself?
What made me start rapping myself?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember. It was so just all a blur. I've made music forever. And I think even in some of my pop songs and like rock songs that I was writing in my band, there was like rapping in it. It wasn't like Tupac rap, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it was more Linkin Park-ish. So I was heavily influenced by Linkin Park. And, you know, I always felt like it was cool to like throw elements of rap because I was influenced by that growing up as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just kind of made whatever I wanted to make, and rap just was a part of that. And I guess after a while, like I was going through phases, and I just only listened to rap, and I wanted to just do more of like poppy, like rap stuff, as opposed to making rock.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went that direction for a little bit.
Were people around you like rapping? Was it really common for Chinese people to rap back then? Like
No.
I don't even know myself.
But I didn't really like see. So this is like a whole different story
Mm-hmm.
that I'd rather not get into. But one of my best friends died when I was really young.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 15, 16. And he was just like, you know, hanging out with the wrong people. And that kind of just made me not want to hang out with like Asian people for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's like the ones that I grew up around were kind of not bad news, but it wasn't what I wanted to surround myself with, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just started hanging out with my skater friends more and like my band friends. So I met so when I graduated from high school, I kind of just started hanging out with like a lot of people from college, like skaters and like, yeah, like band dudes. And then started getting more into like rock music again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I kind of just like did my own thing, stopped hanging out with Asian people. Nothing against Asian people. I'm super proud to be Asian, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just that, you know, at that time, that's how it went. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then, like, did you stop rapping and then just like, were you still rapping in like
So-
college or like in college? What kind of music were you making?
Yeah, I was like still like rapping for fun, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And in college, I was like a super like pothead. So I smoked like I'd wake up and like hit a bowl and just stay high all day type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like I think like every college kid that smokes weed was like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just smoke weed and just like there was people in my dorm that would like cipher like outside, and I'd go and like hang out with them and like kick some bars every now and then. But I wasn't like, yo, I'm gonna be Eminem and I'm gonna be like the biggest rapper in the world. I wasn't like, you know, trying to be the best rapper or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just for fun. So I think it all kind of just like up to like this point, it's kind of just been like honing my tools as like a musician, where it's like, so I'll songwrite for people sometimes now, or
Right,
even
that's-
like,
sorry.
or even write my own songs. I'll like incorporate like, you know, I won't necessarily rap, but
Mhm.
like some parts will have like this part that's singing, like a sing rap type of thing, and it's easy for me to write stuff like that for people who really want songs like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, when I'm songwriting for other people, or even for my own stuff, I feel like it just makes it more unique, and it's not so, I don't know, cliche,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Yeah.
What clicked you, or when did you start listening to electronic music?
I actually started raving when I was, I don't remember when it was, 2008, 2009. It was like Together as One.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was at like the Coliseum or something, and that was like my first rave ever. And it was like Armin van Buuren playing for 8 hours straight or something.
Yeah.
It was a crazy like trance. Trance was really big back then. It's still big now, but I feel like, you know. Oh, they're letting us walk.
Oh, okay.
We're crossing the street, and there's a school bus.
Yeah.
Bus driver mad dogging us right now. She hates us. But yeah, so I got into EDM music, like dance music, in like 2009. But I wasn't like, I never thought I would be a producer or a DJ or even make stuff like that. I always thought it was really cool. I just never understood how people made it. And you know, I used to rave a lot. And then it wasn't until 2011, 2012, I had friends that were starting to become like DJs and getting really big. and I kind of just followed them because it was just like cool, like the stuff with like the drops, like trap drops or like twerk. At the time, like twerk was really popular, so like, what was that song by DJ Snake? I forget, Bird Machine or something like that, or like that Lil Jon, Turn Down for What? You know, like stuff like that. Like kind of got me into more like, well, I want to make stuff like this. I think I could make that, and then just started practicing making it.
Did it ever occur to you to change your name because you're going from like you had already like a rap fan base and you were doing shows and stuff?
I don't know. I thought about it, but why? I don't know. I just kind of just like figured like fuck it, like this is me. I'm always gonna just be me, and I'm not gonna go and just change my name because the music sounds different. If someone's a fan of me, they'll like whatever I make. It doesn't fucking matter what I make, you know? Yeah. So it's like now I'm into like dance music, and I think it'll always be like, you know, something that I'm passionate about. But I might not make a full dance like album in 2 years. It might be like rock, another rap album. I don't know. Like I have people that hit me up still sometimes. They're like, you need to do another song like this or like that. And I'm like, one day, you know, I'm just not into it right now. I kind of just make music for me. And I've always done that. And I've never really changed. So I had a conversation with one of my friends. His name is Mod's son. And he's like a rapper.
Yeah.
And I've known Mod's son for, like 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And he used to be in this band called Scary Kids Scaring Kids. And they were on the Warped Tour. And I used to, you know, hang around the Warped Tour scene a lot. So I've met, like, Mod's son back then. And I ran into him recently, and he was like, yo, man, congrats, you're killing it right now. Like, like it's dope that you're, like, doing all these, like, shows, and, like, you're a DJ now, and you're producing. But what's really cool is you never changed your name, dude. You always stuck with it. And I was like, really? Cool, because I've always gotten people like, yo, why did you change your name? Why did you just like still like, you know? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just never wanted to because this is me, you know?
Yeah. And where was your career at that point after you graduated college?
After I graduated from college, I just lived with my parents for like 2 years. And I had some money saved up. And
didn't you go to Vegas?
I did. I moved to Vegas for a little bit,
Why was that?
For an ex-girlfriend of mine.
Oh, okay.
So I lived out there with her pretty much. And yeah, it didn't work out. And I moved back here in with my parents. And just kept trying to do music. It was a long fucking grind. I mean, not that I'm anything substantial now, but it's just, at least I don't have to worry about bills now, you know?
Yeah.
And I think for me, that's like success. So it isn't, I don't need to fucking have a Ferrari or a fucking jet or anything like that. I think for me, it's like, can I buy whatever I want? Can I eat whatever I want? Do I have a place to live? And I have all those things. So to me, that's like the biggest success of all time, for me at least. So yeah.
Were you working other jobs meanwhile before music?
I had a job as an insurance like customer service call person. So I would call literally like 200 people a day and giving them like confirmation numbers and shit like that. And I got paid all right. I got paid like $15 an hour. So that was chill. I saved some of that money. And yeah.
How were you able to get your name out there initially for more of the electronic stuff?
I was actually really blessed. Like I feel like everything happens for a reason, and everything is like just tied together by fate. Because I feel like hard work and stuff like that really does matter, but there's too many things that have happened in my life that has proved that it's not by chance, you know, that things like just like things just fall into place for some reason, for everyone, not just for me, but I've noticed that. And when I started dance music, I just had the right friends, and they helped me repost a song on SoundCloud. You know, like 5-6 years ago, SoundCloud was like the biggest like dance, platform for people to get their music out there that aren't like signed, that aren't on a major label. And I had friends who were huge on SoundCloud that helped post my songs. And I think that's how it all started. And yeah.
What did your parents think of the whole thing initially?
They've never supported my music. Never. Not until recently, when they saw my video with Jay Park.
Yeah.
So I have a few songs with Jay Park. And shouts out to Jay, by the way. Yeah, I signed to his label, Higher Music, in Korea.
How did you meet him initially?
I met Jay at his show at the Belasco through my management, because they knew him, and they introduced me to him. And I happened to go to Korea like a month from the time I met him, and I was like, yeah, we should work on something. And Jay, being like the nicest guy ever, was like, yeah, sure, let's work on something. He didn't have to, you know. I was like, I'm like nobody. And I eventually went over there to his studio and was super intimidated by, there was like Loco there and like Simon D and Gray, like all these people were like, you know, at the AOMG office. And no one paid attention to me. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, whatever, like, you know, and like produced and like made their music and stuff. And Jay was just sitting with me like the whole time. I was like, oh yeah, let's go through some beats. And like, I played him a bunch of stuff. And now that I think of it, the songs were probably so weak then. Like, yeah, I mean, now that I look back, I'm like, damn, I probably sucked so much. It was like 3 years ago. Damn. And there was one beat, he was like, yo, this is tight. We should like cut to this one.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, let's do it. And then eventually it happened to be this song called Boss, which he played on Show Me the Money, which is like a huge Korean show. Oh. It's like massive in Korea. So he played it on that, and then everyone was talking about the song because it had this trap drop in it.
They weren't really used to that.
Huh?
They weren't really
used to the trap drops then. Yeah. And then so he got like Loco on it, and he got Ugly Duck on it, and eventually he told me to rap on it. I was like, me? Like, no, I suck at rapping. And then he was like, no, dude, you should just rap in English. And everyone rapped in Korean, you know? So I did it in English, and that song went #1 in Korea.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to sign to this label?
More because it's like a family to me. It's not really because, you know, anyone else that asks me to sign to their label, I'm not interested because I'm doing my own thing right now. But with Jay, it's like he's always, out of all people, even before I made any money or, you know, had any sort of buzz on me at all, he's like the first person to like fuck with me and really be like, yo, like, I'll help you, you know? So pretty much like when he asked that he wanted me to sign to his new label that he was starting, I was like, yeah, sure, like of course.
Yeah. Are you signed with Floss now?
Floss? We did like a single together. So with Flashadamus, I did a song called Stronger that came out on High Def Youth, which is Flashadamus' label. Yeah. Which they had started a few years ago, but I think it kind of like, they took a little hiatus on it, and now they're back with like trying to bring the label back. Oh, okay. So my song was like their first single back. But I would consider myself, you know, High Def Youth as well. Because Kurt from Flashadamus is, you know, shout out to Kurt. He's a super good dude too, and has always looked out for me as well. Which is crazy. In the industry, you think that everyone's really nice, and I'm like firing shots right now, but like people just act nice. Like no one's actually fucking chill. Everyone just it's all like jealousy and like clout, like bullshit. It's really dumb, but it's cool. I realize that like if you want to be successful, you just have to do your own thing and not really like ride anyone's coattail or like try to be in and cool like with anyone, because everyone's just out to get their own, like, you know, their own success and their own money. And fortunate enough for me, I have really good friends in the scene, and like real friends, not people that are just like my friend because we're at an event or like they have something to gain from being like associated with me or whatever it is, you know. But I feel like, I don't know, the scene's kind of fucked up, and I play along because we all have to, but it's just like anything else. It's just like the rap scene or like the rock scene where it's like there's always just, you know, it's all a competition for everyone, which is really lame because we should be in it together, you know? We should be like promoting like the culture, but then like people start arguing about like, well, I'm bigger than this guy, I should play here or I play that, you know? And I get what it is because now I have to do this fucking shitty, like, kind of thing, but it is what it is. I'm not really worried about it. I just feel like I finally come at, like, I have realized that in order to be happy, you truly just have to, like, see what you want and build your own, like, your own world almost, and not worry about anyone else. Because I feel like the more you worry about other people, it's just like, it just eats at you, and you're like, oh, why is this person doing this, or why does that person get to do that, and I'm like, and for a long time I was like that, and yeah, now I can say I'm like truly just starting to become happy and be more just in touch with myself.
What was the change in mindset from?
I don't know. I think just doing it long enough and seeing everything for what it is long enough, I kind of just like, it's kind of easy to like, it's like almost like a light switch. So if it's dark, you can't really see the light switch, right? But after a while, you kind of like can see the light switch now, like if you've been in the dark for a while, and then you can just turn it on. Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird analogy, but that's my analogy for that.
I like that. How did you meet Snoop Dogg?
Through management too, again. So I'm managed by Transparent Agency, who is co-founded by a couple of my friends and Far East Movement. So they've had ties in the rap world for a long time, and that's how they got me the Snoop Dogg collaboration, as well as I did a Bone Thugs like collaboration as well.
What was the decision or like themes when you put out the sushi?
What was that?
The sushi and everything.
Sushi and sushi friends and everything awesome. At the time, I was just like partying a lot, and I was really like into sushi. I mean, I'm still into sushi, like more rarely now, only because I'm kind of pescatarian, vegetarian, vegan, whatever people are these days. I just don't believe in eating meat anymore, especially red meats, chicken, any of that. But sushi, I was really into like 2 years ago. Like every day, I would just eat sushi, and I don't know. I just thought it would be kind of cool because I would like tweet about it, I'd write about it, and all my fans would be like, "Yeah, sushi or die," because that's what I'd say. I'd be like, "Sushi or die, motherfucker," and they'd be really into it. So, I don't know why I say that.
Why did you stop eating red meat?
Why did I stop eating red meat? Because it's gross. It's like killing fucking innocent like beings, Yeah, I just don't like. I don't like the thought of like animals suffering for my enjoyment for a good like 5 minutes. It's just not cool.
What are your tattoos about?
Honestly, absolutely fucking nothing. I think everyone likes to say that their tattoos mean something. Like, well, this is, unless you straight up have your grandma's name or something. It's like, well, I got this tiger because my grandma was dreamed about a tiger one time, and like I just wanted to remember her by this tiger, It's like, no, you didn't. You wanted to get it because it was cool, like, and it looks cool.
Where do you get your style from?
My style?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wear whatever I want to wear. So some days I'll be like, I want to wear these ugly shorts, and I just wear them. Yeah. And today I'm like, I'm going to look like a cowboy. I'm going to do an interview today. I'm going to look like Woody from Toy Story.
Oh my God, I love that.
I love Toy Story. So that's not where this came from. Yeah. But I'm just...
Why are you trying to be Raver Dad, or what's the idea behind
Rave
that?
Dad?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's another thing where it's just like, I just say whatever I want to say. Like the whole sushi thing. I'm like, sushi or die, motherfucker. And people love it.
People soak it all in.
Yeah. And I'm like, the whole thing I'm doing right now with my songs is I'm trying to push rave culture back into the scene again. Because right now it's very bass heavy, which is not bad. I love bass music. I play a lot of dubstep. I'm all supportive of bass music, period. But it's like, there doesn't need to be another dude fucking talking about like headbanging, and like, it's just so played out to me. I think it's played out, which is fine. Other people can make dubstep and like trap, and I'll play that shit in my sets. But it's like, there's so many like dubstep dudes that are really good at making dubstep now, that it's like I can try and do my own rendition of, dubstep, which I have done. I don't know if I released anything recently of, music like that, but I'm just trying to push more of the culture of stuff that I've grown up listening to and that I've grown up being in love with. And I feel like a lot of the kids that are getting into raving don't even know what raving is really about. You know, they're kind of just like, a lot of them are all just headbangers now, which is cool. Like I said, like it's much love to all the bass communities and pushing that, you know, forward as much as possible. But for me, it's like, I'm about the plur shit. I'm about like the rave, like about being positive and really having a good time. And I'm trying to, you know, just like let kids know that it's fun to rave, and it's not just about like, you know, headbanging. And yeah, just like kind of being that new guy that's, you know, getting people into dance music, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you say you've grown as a person since when you started?
How have I grown as a person? I think I've grown better as a person. I don't think I was ever a shitty person, but I do think I was very immature at one point, as we all were. And I think we'll all be somewhat selfish, right? Because we're our own entity. And I think it's a natural thing to be selfish. But I think I'm actually, as selfish as I am now, I'm actually very selfless at the same time. Like I feel like I care a lot more about other people more now. I don't know why. I could care more about myself. I mean, which I do. I don't want people to think like, oh yeah, well I just like want to like, I don't give a shit about myself. I love myself, you know, obviously, and I care about myself and what I need. But in terms of like, I realize how much I can do for someone now, I guess. And I was never used to that. So I've never been used to having like real fans, people that are like, you know, like listen to me every day or constantly like just like, you know, send me like messages of just supportive like, you know, remarks and comments. And for me, it's like, damn, I have a voice. No matter how many people it is, if it's even like 2 people or like 100, it doesn't matter. Like I feel like now that people actually listen to what I say and actually take it seriously, it matters. Like, so if I say something really shitty, people might think shitty things about a certain topic or, you know, and I feel like everything that I say and everything that I'm about should matter. And before I was like I said, I wasn't a shitty person, but let's say I'd be like, yeah, man, smoke weed and fucking like, I get fucked up and like blah, 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 and talk about all that shit, which is like how YULTRON started, I guess. But now I'm just kind of like, yo, I'm trying to talk less about getting high and like getting fucked up. It's not all about getting fucked up. It's about just, I don't know, doing something more. At least for me. So I think the bigger I'm getting and the more attention that I'm getting from people, it makes me want to like switch from being, I don't know, to be more selfless, I guess, and to be more about what the brand is, about what YULTRON represents, as opposed to like, you know, what I need and what I want type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say have been your biggest challenges?
My biggest challenges would be to be noticed, to be heard, and for people to even give a shit about what I do. And I think a lot of it has to do with being persistent and continually just, even no matter what people say to you, like if they say, oh, this song sucks, or no, you can't play this festival, or you can't play this show, no, you're not big enough to do that, you know, when people don't believe in you, and like just when all these like roadblocks come your way, like I feel like the hardest part is to stay believing in yourself and stay true to your path and not giving up. I feel like that's like the main thing. Like not giving up is the hardest thing for me, because there have been like a lot of moments where I'm like, yo, I haven't made any money in like 2 years. Like I'm still living with my parents. Like what the fuck am I doing? Should I get a normal job, or like what should I do? And I just never stopped. I just kind of kept going. And now I'm like not worried about any of that stuff. And now I can actually make music full time, and yeah, not worry about how I'm going to pay the month, like, or the rent at the end of the month, you know? Yeah.
What does love mean to you?
What does love mean to me? Love, damn, do you have another hour? I don't know. love is like everything. I'm inspired by love. Like being in love inspires me. Having love from like, you know, fans inspires me. I don't know. That's such a like broad question that I think if there were no love in my particular situation, I wouldn't be where I am. I feel like because like even though my parents didn't support like my making music, they still did because I lived in their house for free. It wasn't like
that's crazy.
You know, they didn't kick me out. Which I'm like, okay, so they did support me. They just didn't really want me to.
They just don't want to admit it also.
Yeah, not even that, but it was like, they'll support me no matter what I want to do. But it's like, were they happy with supporting me? That was the thing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think they were happy supporting me. But now I think they're happy because they realize that I do have fans and I do like play some pretty big shows, and money's not really like, you know, with Asian parents, money's always been like
number one.
Yeah, number one. You would know that. She's like, how are you gonna support yourself?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do after I die? Like, you know, and that's the main thing. And I think they're not worried about that anymore. They're like, oh, cool. Like he knows, because you know, they see it.
Last question. What do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for positivity and my music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.